Morning, Erin. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Amanda, can you hear me? Thank you. I have no videos, no responses. It's a little kooky. All right. Turn your videos on. Let's get started. I want to see your faces. Uh-oh, Malachi turned his video on and then got kicked out, so that was not a good plan, right? Good morning, Erin. Angelina Deshay, turn your videos on, please. Let's do this warm up. Hi, Malachi. I saw you turn your video on and then you got kicked out, so I don't know what happened. All right, so I have 3 warm-up problems there. We'll just do one at a time in the chat to make sure we know how to round when it's money. So just put number 1 in the chat, but don't hit enter yet, okay? All right, so we're just going to do number 1 on the warm-up first. And we're going to put it in the chat so we make sure everybody can round to the nearest cent, because that's what's going to happen a lot in this unit. Okay, is everybody ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Nice. And you changed it to 39 because there was a 7 after the 8, right? Good job. Okay, let's get the next one ready. So number 2, get number 2 ready. Make sure everybody's answering. I'm missing an answer. Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Nice. So this time we didn't change it. We left it 23 because there was just a 4 after it. Good job. All right, last one. It's a little bit tricky. Get the last one ready. Get the last one ready in the chat. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Nice. Was anyone kind of freaked out by that one? Like didn't know what to do? Yeah, so that one's a little bit trickier because it's already at 99. So since there's an 8 after, you have to round all the way up, and it looks like you're rounding to the nearest dollar, even though you really rounded to the nearest cent, right? So don't get tricked by that one. You do just round to the dollar. That's why it's 8,328, but you're still rounding to the nearest cent. Okay? To the nearest cent and to the nearest dollar would be the same. All right. Okay, so today we're going to talk about payout annuities. How did you do with your PF7 homework? How did it go? Did you do fine? Was it terrible? Did you remember to do it? Nobody sent me any questions, so I'm not sure. Looks like some of you got it finished all correctly. Some of you didn't do it at all.
I'm grateful for this education. I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful for Jesus. I'm grateful.
I don't know. Okay, so if you're having trouble with PF7, make sure you ask for help. It looks like a lot of you got through it, or at least part of it, but you know, some of you just didn't even start it. So I'm not sure how you would know how you did. Okay, so today, the reason I bring that up is today's is related to yesterday's. Because if you notice the title of PF8, PF8 is called payout annuities. Payout annuities. And we have 2 formulas, and they're already on that formula sheet that I gave you. I can give you another formula sheet if you need it. So you can solve for payment, or you can solve for principal or present value. And those are the 2 formulas. Notice they get kind of messy, right? But that's what happens in Desmos. They do just get kind of messy, but it's fine. Once you have it in there once, if you know how to copy that formula in your calculator, they're golden, right? And in Desmos, you can just go back and change them. So that's kind of nice. You can use the TVM solver for this. So if you're liking the TVM solver, you're fine. But remember, it's really making sense of the problem and understanding what's happening in order to get the right answers, right? Okay. So what's a payout annuity? Last section, we learned about annuities. In annuities, you don't start with anything, and you put money in an account on a regular basis, and you end up with money in your account. In this section, how this is different, we're going to learn about payout annuities. With a payout annuity, you start with money in your account, and you're trying to pull out money on a regular basis. And any remaining money in the account earns interest. It's kind of nice. So after a fixed amount of times, the account will be empty. That's the idea. Okay. The account will be empty. That's what we want. So payout annuities are usually used after retirement. For example, you saved $500,000 for retirement and you want to take out money each month to live on, and you want that money to last 20 years, say after you retire. Okay, that's a payout annuity. Does that make sense? Do you see how this is different than what we were talking about before? Before we were talking about saving for retirement. Now we're talking about, okay, now we've retired. Now, how much do I get to take out of my account each month, week, year, whatever you decide? Okay. Okay. So here's today's handout. And while you're getting that, I forgot. Anyone have anything to share?
Woke up early this morning, made pancakes.
Nice. What kind of pancakes? Just regular pancakes, or did you put anything fun on them?
As much as I wanted to, no, they were plain.
That's okay. Plain pancakes are good too. I think I'm going to make apple cinnamon pancakes soon. Maybe this weekend. All right. I'm glad that AJ made some pancakes. I have some good news. 9 more class days. Yeah, who likes that? Amanda's like, right on, man. So if you thought you're like at the end of your rope, 9 more classes. You can do it. And really 8 and presentations. Nice. So 8 and presentations. Yeah. Can you make it? Yeah. Somebody give me a party hat or something that you can make it. Like, let's do it. Like, come on. Some of you are like, can't do it. Malachi can do it. Yay. Who else is going to make it? Who else is going to make it to the end? Some of you are unsure. I'm concerned. Aaron's going to make it for sure. I see him. Decinia, are you going to make it? All right, AJ, you going to make it? Okay, I got a thumbs up. I got a kind of a worried face. I was a little worried about that. Deshay, Olivia, you going to make it? All right. Valerie, can you do it? Valerie's falling off her chair. We're losing Valerie. Valerie, you can do it. We got you. You can do it. Angelina, you gonna make it? All right. I think that's everyone. So I'm a little concerned because you weren't very enthusiastic about being done. We got to get through it, right? Jen Day, you gonna make it? Uh-oh, no news from Jen. You're over this. I'm pretty sure everybody's about right there, right? How is everybody's other classes going? Are you going okay? You hanging in there with your other classes? Okay, we got a lot going on. I know it's hard. I know some of you are, a little worried about the rest, but I promise you, you don't want to take it again, right? You got to get through it. Yeah? So let's get through it. All right. So, did everybody get the handout? I'll put it in the chat one more time in case you need it. Sometimes it's nice to have this handout because there's lots of words on them, right? These problems are kind of long. Okay, so here's our first problem. After retiring, you want to be able to take out $1,500 each month from your account for 25 years. It's a long time. I don't know when you retired. Maybe you retired at 60. And so you think you'll live till at least 85, right? People are living a long time. So you want to take out $1,500 a month from your account. Your account earns 6% interest compounded monthly. Do you see how we're getting all these same ideas again, just in a little bit different of a format? So how much do you need in your account when you retire? How much do you need in your account when you retire? That's the question. So let's make sense of this. So we need a certain amount in our account when we retire. And these are the two formulas we have to choose from. Now, on the TVM, we'll talk about how to do it on the TVM too. But which one of these formulas do you think you need to use if you want to find out how much do you need in your account when you retire?
The one on the left.
So the one on the left solves for payment. So the payment is the amount you're going to take out each month. Do you already know how much you want to take out each month in this problem? Yesenia is shaking her head, yeah. So in this problem, we already know we want to take out $1,500 each month. So I don't need to find my payment. I need to find my P, or my present value, to see how much I need in the account when I retire. Does that make sense? Please ask a question if it doesn't make sense, because that's really important to be able to choose the correct formula. Everybody okay? Okay, so this fun formula is the one you would need. Or you can use the TVM solver. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. So if you use the formula, your formula is P equals payment times, and then you have all of this stuff. 1 plus R over N. Do you notice these formulas are very similar? Because they're all related. They're all connected to each other. I'm going to write this as a fraction because it'll be easier. So then there's a big division bar, and then 1 plus R over N to the N times T. If you're using TVM, you have capital N, you have I, you have PV, you have PMT, you have FV, and you have CY and PY. All right, so let's try to fill in these numbers, okay? Somebody tell me any number that they know where it goes. Any of them, I don't care.
6 goes in I.
Very nice. I could put a 6 right here in I. That's great. Over here, R would be 6. So, but R would be 0.06, right? If you wanted to put 0.06 in the formula. Good job. What else do we know? Where does that 1,500 go? Any ideas?
Is it payment?
It is payment. So it's going to go here. Okay. Or it's going to go here, 1,500. Make sense? Okay. So now we've used the 6. We've used the 1,500. What else do we need? Where does that 25 years go?
In N?
Very nice. It goes in N. So over here, lowercase n is 25. On the TVM solver, do I put 25 in capital N? Amanda's like, no, I've done that before, made that mistake, right? So what do we put in for capital N on the TVM solver?
25 times 12.
Very nice, 25 times 12. And it's 25 times 12 because it's compounded monthly, right? Compounded monthly. Oh, by the way, please correct me when I do these crazy things. N isn't 25. T is 25. N is 12, right? N is 12. Thank you. Before we put this horrible formula in and then we get it wrong, that would be depressing, right? Okay, so what else can I fill in here? What do I put for PY and CY?
Would it be 12?
It would be 12. Good job, Ashley, because it's annually. Oh, sorry, because it's monthly. Why can't I speak today? Might need some to wake up something. All right, so now in your TVM, do you see how you just have PV and FV that are blank, right? So you have to decide, which one am I solving for here? Am I solving for PV or am I solving for FV? What do you think?
PV?
Yes. I'm solving for PV because that I want to know how much I have at the start of retirement, how much I have to have at the start of retirement. So then I can pull out $1,500 a month. So for FV, we're going to put in 0 because we want to drain our retirement account in 25 years. We want it to be empty. We want to spend all our money. So does this make sense? This is the hard part, right? You're like, this sounds exactly like what we were doing before. It is, we're just moving things around in the TVM solver, right? Because our problem is different. So you can use the formula or you can use TVM. Okay, so now you should have everything you need to plug in. Use Desmos or your graphing calculator or the TVM solver. Do that, get your answer ready in the chat, and we'll compare our answers in just a minute. And always round to the nearest cent. I'll give you about a minute to use your calculator button pushing skills. All right, does everybody have an answer? Okay, let's put it in the chat. Put your answer in the chat. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Look at that. Practice makes perfect. Good job. Okay, how many of you are using the TVM solver? Oh my gosh, we've converted Olivia. Olivia's like, I've quit the formulas. They almost killed me. It's okay. I did it on the formula, right? It was just time consuming to put it in the formula. Yeah. And if you're using the formula, it totally works. I just did it. You know what I forgot? I forgot the 1500 out front in my formula. And I was like, my number's a little small. I'm not sure what's happening. So let's make sense of this. This is the answer that you got, right? You got $232,810.30. Yeah, that's what I saw in the chat from everyone. Yay, yay, yay. That's so exciting. Now, what that means is if you want to be able to retire and withdraw $1,500 out each month of your account that earns 6% compounded monthly, and you want to do that for 25 years, at the start of your retirement, you need to have $232,810.30 in your account. Does everybody understand that's what it's telling you? All right, so the game we were playing yesterday was how do I get money in my retirement account, right? Do you see how you could put these two pieces together? Because now I could ask you a follow-up question and say, how much do I need to put in each month for the next, I don't know, 10 years till you retire in order to have $232,810.30 in your retirement account? Do you see how that's a PF7 question like we did yesterday? Yeah, so it's a little tricky. You can put all these pieces together. All right, try this one. Try this one. It should be the next one on your worksheet. How much money will you need to have at retirement? Same question as before. So you can withdraw, be careful. Now we're not withdrawing monthly. We're pulling out $60,000 a year for 20 years when we earn 8% compounded annually. Okay, try that one. I have to let a cat in or out. Okay, I don't want to rush you, but are you done? So what was nice about this one is if you were using the formulas, you just had to go change some numbers, right? You just have to remember to change all of them. If you're using the TVM solver, same thing. The one mistake that I think a lot of people make is they don't change their PY and CY, right, in their TVM solver. So it's good to write it all down. Does everybody have an answer? Okay, let's put it in the chat. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my gosh, isn't it exciting when you see the same answer as yours come up? Yeah, you're so thrilled. Okay, so now I want you to think about what this means, right? Good job, everyone, by the way. Nice rounding, all of that. So this means you better have $589,088.84 in retirement if you want to pull out 60 grand a year. And by the way, you're making 8% compounded annually. Sounds unlikely, just so you know. But so that means we need to figure out how to get $589,088.84 in our accounts when we retire, right? So these are all connected. Olivia's dog is so excited to learn this. Yeah, I appreciate that enthusiasm. Okay, any questions on this one? I didn't get answers from quite everyone. Any questions on that? I don't want to leave anyone hanging if you didn't get it. Okay. Okay, so this is what I put in. I didn't fill in my blanks in the formula, but you can see, you know, what you would put in there. But I did fill in my TVM, so you can see in case you made a mistake on that. Everybody all right? Thumbs up? Okay. Now, let's look at this question. You want to be able to take out $30,000 a year for 25 years. You earn 8% compounded annually. How much do you need in your account at the beginning? How much money will you pull out? And then how much of that money is interest? These last two might be trickier questions for you. I think you can do part A without an issue, okay? Because that's very similar to what we were just doing. But think about B and C. So first, let's do part A, okay? Everybody try part A. So you're going to take out $30,000 a year. For 25 years, your account earns 8% interest compounded annually. How much do you need at your account in the beginning? Try that one. All right, yeah, if you haven't bookmarked that TVM, make sure you bookmark it because it stinks when you lose it, right? You're like, what is happening right now? I can put it on our slide page too, just in case you need it. And I think more tells you to open it every time, like at the start of a homework assignment. So more gives you the link again. And on the quiz, when you take it, that link will be there as well. Okay. All right, does everybody have an answer to part A? Okay, let's look at part A. Put your answer in the chat. In 3, 2, 1, go. Look at that. Okay, so when we're here and you're doing it, you're not having a problem, right? You're doing it correctly. It's when you're on your own and you have too many different problems at the same time. So somehow you're going to have to talk yourself through the problems like I talk you through them, because then you can do them. So figure out how to ask those questions to help you. Okay. So that's totally right. $320,243.29. Good job, everyone. Now, let's remember what part B asked us. Part B said, how much money will you pull out of the account? So I want you to think about that. You're going to pull out how much for how long? How much money are you pulling out of this account?
30,000
How often, Yesenia?
once a year for 25 years.
Very good. So if I wanted to figure out how much money I'm pulling out of the account, I would multiply 30,000 times 25. Does everybody see that? Do you see how that's not really a formula? That's just thinking. So how much money will you have pulled out of the account? If you've pulled out $30,000, times 25 years, how much will you have pulled out of the account? You can put it in the chat if you want, if you don't want to say it out loud. What is this? 30,000 times 25. What do you get? There you go. Now I'm seeing it. $750,000. Now, is anyone confused? Thanks, Amanda. I appreciate that, because you're like, wait a minute. I pulled out $750,000, but I only had $320,000 in the account. How did this happen? Any ideas? That word right there. The interest that it's earning, it doesn't stop earning that interest while it's sitting in there. So it's still getting interest. So that's why you actually have more money than you realize. So how much of that money is interest? Well, if you take that 750,000 that we just figured out and subtract off what I had in the account to start with at retirement, which was $320,243.29, look at how much money in interest you made. $429,756.71. So in case you get a number that seems backwards, remember that your account's still earning interest while it's sitting there. Okay, because you're only pulling out $30,000 at a time. Does that make sense? Does that clear it up for you? Yeah, now, by the way, this is an unrealistic number. This 8% is a lie, right? I hope you make 8%, but you're probably not going to, just so you know. But you will make something, right? So it's nice to see that. So any questions on that? Are you okay on that? That was a little trickier. Okay. Read this problem and tell me how it's different. Read this problem and tell me how it's different. What do you think? Anyone tell me why this problem is different? Because I'm still retiring. I'm still taking money out of my account. What's different? What's new?
You're looking for the amount you're pulling out, you're taking out.
Yeah. So I want to know how much I can pull out each month. Okay, so now I don't want to know how much I have in my account because I already know that, right? I have $400,000 in my account. So now I want to know the maximum amount I can take out each month in order to, for how long? 25 years. So if we go back to these original formulas, now we're looking for payment because we have our present value. We have how much we have in the account. So do you see how this one's different? So now on your TVM solver, we know PV, but we're solving for, what are we solving for on the TVM solver? Anyone?
We're solving for the PMT on the TVM solver.
Very nice. We're solving for our payment. That's what we're solving for. So here we are. You can use a formula or you can use TVM. So I hope you've gotten really good at writing all these things down. And our formula is nasty. Again, it's not too terrible. So payment equals our present value times R divided by N over 1 minus 1 plus R over N to the, oh, do you see that negative sign there? Negative N times T. Don't lose that if you're using formulas. There's a negative sign in that formula. Okay? All right, so do you think you can figure it out? Okay, why don't you privately chat me your payment once you get it, because I think we'll have people all over the place. And if you get it right, then you can move to the next question. The next question's a doozy. Try it. Let me know what you get. Privately chat me so it doesn't go to everyone. We got some fast typing people there. You're like, I'm typing when you're talking. That's fine too. All right, so I have 3 answers so far. Let me know when you get yours. If you already sent me your answer and you got a reply from me, read through the next problem and think about it. It's a little bit more complicated. All right, you guys are getting good at these. Are these understandable to you, or are they all understandable as we're doing them? You just get confused at where things go when you see them all together. Sometimes that happens. All right, so let's take a look. This is what you should have gotten, $2,827.12. Now, sometimes when you're getting in the role of solving for P or PV, you get an answer like this and you're like, wait, that's way too small, right? But you have to remember you're only solving for payment this time. So you're taking that out each month. So you really have to think about your answers and see if they're reasonable, okay? Any questions on this one? Ashley, did you figure out your mistake?
Yeah, I put in a number wrong.
Yeah, that because you weren't off by a lot. And so
Yeah.
that's usually a sign that there's just something strange, you know, not in there. Maybe it was N or maybe it was PYCY. All right.
Yeah.
So let's look at this next problem. It says you want to be able to take out $25,000 from your account each year for 20 years after you retire. You're going to retire in 30 years. Your account's going to earn 10% compounded annually. How much will you need to deposit each year until retirement to reach your retirement goals? Now, do you see how this is a big question? Because you have to do some things first. So what do you think the first thing we have to figure out is?
Present value? Or
Yeah, we have to figure out how much we need when, Valerie, at what time do we need to figure that out? What time we need when? So we need PV. Do we need PV for now or do we need PV for when we retire?
when we retire.
Yeah, so we need PV for when we retire. Then, after we find that, what are we going to find? What is it asking us to find?
Would it be future value?
How much you need to deposit each year until retirement. So if I'm going to find how much I have to deposit each year, is that future value or what is that?
Would it be payment?
Very nice. It's going to be payment. Because here's what we have to figure out. How much money do I need to retire with to pull out $25,000 each year? And then, oh, how much money do I need to put in now to have that at retirement? Do you see how it's asking us two different questions? So first I'm going to solve for PV at retirement, which is what we just did. But then we have to use that value to figure out our payment. Okay? Everybody okay with this? Okay, if you're using formulas, you're going to use the formula for P to find at retirement, which is a payout annuity. But then you're going to go back to regular annuities to figure out your payment. Okay? So let's start with this one. If we're doing the how to find the P or the present value when we retire, we can use the formula that we were using, or we can use the TVM, right? Where capital N, you have to be careful. Okay, so capital N, we're talking about, we want to pull it out each year for 20 years after we retire. So we're going to say N is 20. Everybody okay with that? I is going to be 10 because it said 10%. PV is what we're looking for. That's what we don't know. Okay, that's what we're looking for. And then payment, what's our payment in this part 1? How much are we pulling out of this account?
$25.
$25,000. So I'm going to put in negative $25,000 because that's how much I'm taking out of the account. FV, what do I want my retirement account to be at the end of the 20 years? It should be 0, right? I want to take it all out. I don't want any money left in my account. So I'm going to say FV is 0, and then PY and CY are equal to 1, because I'm just doing it annually, right? Remember, it's annually. If you're using your formula, it's the formula you've been using for P equals. Okay, so find that value. Find that value. You can send it to me. Very nice. I got a couple of them. Deshay, I think your last 2 numbers are reversed. Look at your last 2 numbers. Everything else is fine. Oh, wait, maybe your decimal point's in the wrong place. Check that because your digits are fine. Your answer should be $212,839.09. Do you see, Deshay, you were just like somehow you got shifted over a little bit. Your number was right. Okay, good job. We got a lot who got that same answer. Anyone not get that answer? Okay, so now we have to take this value and use it for this part of the problem. So where is it going to go in my part 2? Because now I'm trying to figure out how much do I have to deposit every year now for the next, how long till I retire?
$30.
Yeah, 30 years. So how much do I have to put in each year for 30 years in order to have $212,839.09? So if we use TVM again, and this time is going to be 30, because that's how long till I retire. Don't forget to change that. Do you see how some people would leave it 20? But it's not, because now we're on a different scenario. Now I'm going to retire in 30 years. So I is still 10. PV now is nothing. I got nothing to start with. I'm starting to save for retirement today. Our PMT is what we're solving for, right? This is what we're solving for. Our FV, what do you think our FV is?
Is it going to be that number we just got?
Yes! It's going to be this number, this 212,839.09. That's why we had to find it. And then PY and CY are going to be 1. So do you see how this was like an intense problem, but actually a problem you could apply to your real life right now? Like how many of you have thousands of dollars in your savings account already? Probably not very many of you, right? And so you think, okay, how long till I retire? 30 years might be the golden number. You're like, okay, I'm 22 right now, or maybe I'm 20 right now. Retiring at 50 sounds pretty good, right? So I'm going to retire. And then how much do you need to live on after you retire? And if you retire at 50, is 20 years long enough, right? So you can apply this to your real life. And we have a problem like that in our more homework, right? Where you can figure out how much you need to retire, like you personalize it to you. I made them write that problem because I thought it was kind of fun. Yeah, so you could figure it out for yourself. It could be exciting, it could be a little depressing. Okay, so once you get this answer, how much did you have to put in each year? Very nice. I'm gonna write it over here. Oh, in yellow. $1,293.90. That doesn't sound too bad, right? 1,300 bucks a year. So you can take out $25,000 each year for 20 years. That doesn't sound too bad. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, now it's 10% interest, which is not realistic, but we're overlooking that right now. Okay. Okay, so do you see how that problem is more complicated? There's my TBM solver for that. Okay. There's another problem that's just as complicated. It's kind of depressing the way it's written here, let me tell you. Because it says, so if we look, there's what? Is there just one problem left or two problems left? Maybe two problems left on this worksheet. So this one says you've saved $500,000 in a retirement account, paying 8% interest compounded monthly, and are ready to start your retirement. You have to figure out how much money you can safely take out of your account every month because you don't want to run out of money before you die. That's the part that I was like, who wrote this problem? Like, I guess I don't know how else you'd say it. How much money can you take out each month if you expect another 20 years or another 30 years? Do you see how it changes the question? Right? So if you are only going to live 20 years past retirement, you would get a certain amount. If you're going to live 30 years past retirement, it's going to be a different amount. Okay, so let's chat since it's almost 10 o'clock. I'd love for you to do these last couple problems. But tomorrow, we need to use our time wisely. I'm a little worried that we're going to come to class and everybody's going to be like, I don't know what I'm doing for my final project. So maybe you should just let us not have class today. That's not going to happen. Okay, just so you know. So I'm all for giving you a work day on your final project. I'm all about that. I'll be here to help you, blah, blah, blah. But if you guys come and you're like, yeah, I don't know, I got nothing. Well, I have an alternative assignment. Yeah. And my alternative assignment, when everybody comes at the start of class tomorrow, if I don't have like ideas from each one of you about what your project's going to be on, and you're making copies of the slideshow, you're doing your research, you're bouncing ideas off your teammates, you're asking me questions, all of those things. If that's not happening, what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign you a problem from PF8, and you're going to have to present it to the class tomorrow. So which do you prefer? Does anyone want work time tomorrow on their final project? Okay, at least 3 people do. Is there anyone who would prefer to just have extra work and a presentation tomorrow? Is there anyone who's opting for that? Malachi is like, I cannot shake my head enough. Can you see it? That's a big no from me. I'm not doing any extra work. Okay, so I heard from Amanda and Olivia and Yesenia and Malachi. Aaron, you're going to be ready to work on your project tomorrow?
For sure.
Okay, AJ? Nice. Angelina? Nice, Ashley. Nice, Valerie. Deshay. And Jenday. All right. Okay. So I'm going to take you at your word. So when you come to class tomorrow, make sure you have your topic ready, right? And you have a plan for what you're doing tomorrow. If you're working with a partner in class, just let me know so that I make sure I put you in groups together. Okay? Because all we have left after this PF8 is loans. And loans are going to link to our vehicle project that we started. We're going to do, so tomorrow, next week, we're going to do our loans and we're going to do our vehicle project and you're going to do your final project, take a quiz. That's it. We're done. Final presentations. We're good to go. Sound good? Okay. What I want you to do right now for these last 10 minutes before the exit ticket, see how far you can get on those last two problems. Okay? I'll put you in breakout rooms so you can chat with your buddies about me and complain. Just kidding. I mean, discuss the final project. Okay? Okay. So let me get you in there. All right, I think I have everybody in a room. So go for it, and then I'll bring you back in 10 minutes. Hello, I don't think everybody's back yet, but I am going to put the exit ticket in the chat. I was visiting people and chatting with them about their final project. Sorry. So we'll talk tomorrow. Make sure you come ready to work. There's your exit ticket. If you were working on that worksheet and you're curious if you got it right, I have all the answers in our slides. Okay, so you can check the slides on that. Hello, hello, welcome back. I just put the exit ticket in the chat. I'll put the exit ticket in the chat again. Go ahead and try it. I was chatting with some rooms. Make sure you come ready to work tomorrow on your final presentation. Lots of people have lots of good ideas. And so pick something that is going to be meaningful to you. Okay? And then we'll work on that tomorrow. If you want to see the answers from that worksheet that we did in class today, I have the answers in the slides, but I also have it on a doc, so I can put it in too. So here's the answers to today's handout, in case you want to go over your answers and you don't want to look at the slides later. All right, great job today. When you finish your exit ticket, you can go and, okay, remember what I said, only 9 more days. You can do it. Hang in there. Hang in there. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll stay here if you have any questions. Hopefully I did the exit ticket right today.
Have a good one.
Bye, AJ.
And I disappear. Wait, dang it. No, I